So this is Gus O'Donnell's review of the al-Megrahi release, about 140 pages or so of it, and I guess the key paragraph here is conclusion, paragraph 34. It is my conclusion, he says, that none of the materials I've reviewed contradicts anything in the then Foreign Secretary's statement to the House of Commons, ... or statements made by the former Prime Minister on this matter. So you would not expect any particular smoking gun. There is no evidence that pressure was placed on the Scottish Government. He says, nonetheless, once Mr Megrahi had been diagnosed with terminal cancer, HMG policy was based on an assessment that UK interests would be damaged if Mr Megrahi were to die in a UK jail, and the desire to see that result developed and intensified over time. It meant that the government should, quote, do all it could while respecting devolved competencies to facilitate an appeal by the Libyans. Doing all it could in the event actually wasn't that much. Particularly because they realised that if they tried to lobby or pressurise the Scottish Government and Alex Salmond, then that would be counterproductive. It says throughout this period the former government took great effort not to communicate to the Scottish Government its underlying desire to see Mr Megrahi released before he died, because they thought that that would be counterproductive. To be honest, going through all this makes it clear that there was a policy that was understood throughout government, which was that it would be best for UK interests for Abdel Basset al-Megrahi not to die in jail, but that policy wasn't really very effectively communicated to the British people, that's putting it mildly. And I guess that there were two reasons. Well, one basic reason for that is that it was an awkward place to be in terms of relationships with the United States. Not a great place to be, perhaps, in terms of projecting a position to the British people, to be seen to be supporting the release of the Lockerbie bomber. And I think that, bluntly, the reason that the government, reminding oneself of what went on in that period, made such a complete dog's dinner of the articulation of their policy was because, bluntly, they seem to have been embarrassed by it. And I guess that that is why David Cameron will still be able to make progress and make hay in his statement in the House of Commons in accusing the government of not being straightforward, not being candid, and so on and so forth. Because this position of wanting al-Megrahi out of jail and back to Libya is not one that was effectively transmitted and articulated by the British government in the way that one might have expected.